Good afternoon, scholars. Happy Monday. Let's take a look at our turn-in rates. We experienced a huge dip in our turn-in rate. We were at 68% on Friday. We're at 51% over the weekend. Not acceptable, especially since you have 3 days to get your Friday assignment done. There's a lot of students who just take the weekends off, and we can't afford to do that because, guys, this isn't just extra homework. This is your lessons. These are your classes that are getting you through 6th grade, getting you ready for 7th grade and beyond. So if you've got the mindset that this is optional, you're really digging yourself into a hole that it's going to be hard to get out of when we do come back to school in person next fall. For those of you who are still going into office hours, getting your work turned in, great job. Keep it up. I'm proud of you. You're doing right by yourself, really, because you're only hurting yourself if you are using this time to take a little extra vacation. Let's check our work. This was a kind of tricky assignment, it seems. I'm not sure if that's because it was that tricky or if just kind of the effort and the maturity really wasn't there this weekend. So let's walk through my examples from the weekend assignment because today we're picking up on the same exact skill with the same exact prompt. On Friday, you were assigned pages 57 to 62. And your task on those pages was to really focus in on examples where you see tension, right? Remember, tension is an element in a novel that evokes emotions such as worry, anxiety, fear, or stress. And those are emotions that you could be feeling as you're reading it, or they could be emotions that you can tell the characters are feeling. So we were looking for examples, anything that would happen where you would think that this might cause the tension, because there's a lot of tension in this play. There's a lot of disagreements, a lot of arguments, and those are examples of tension when characters are kind of in conflict with each other. Tension can be the environment making somebody tense, but it could also be characters making each other tense with conflict. So let's look at some of the examples from over the weekend from pages 57 through 62. I walked through the first example on Friday's video. The second juror mentions that I wonder if they'd let us go home in case we can't finish tonight. I've got a boy with the mumps. So we were to read this and ask and really explain how this example would cause more tension in the room. And my analysis for that example was if the second juror has a sick child at home, his stress level might be high even before they even enter the room. His stress might rise even more the longer he has to stay to make their decisions. This might cause him to lose temper towards the other jurors, right? So that will build tension. Some two other examples from this same section is the fifth juror says, "Boy, it's hot." Here, remember at the beginning of Act 1, when they first walked in the room, they were commenting on how hot it was. This is supposed to be the hottest day of the year, and the fan wasn't working. So I said here, Rose reminds us of how uncomfortably hot the jury room is. When people are uncomfortable, they get irritable. The heat is making a tense situation worse and is also another reason many of the jurors want to go home, right? People are starting to lose patience. Another example was the seventh juror after they do a revote, and it's now 6-6. So at this point, the quote was, and we go into extra innings here, right? He's like exasperated. He's being kind of sarcastic. He's also using baseball terminology because we know that our friend wants to go to a baseball game. I said, for my analysis, at this point, the jury is split 6-6. The first vote was 11-1. Many of the jurors probably thought that they were close to going home since they were just one vote away from being unanimous. The 6-6 vote shows how much time they've already spent discussing the case. And much time to continue to be stuck together in the jury room. Right? That's what extra innings means. The game's going extra long because it's tied up. Okay? So then you're supposed to take some of the evidence that you found and apply it to the focus question. How does Rose maintain, and again, guys, it's Reginald Rose. So this is a gentleman we're talking about. So if you do refer to the author, make sure it's he. How does Rose maintain tension at the beginning of Act 2? You were to provide at least one piece of evidence. I felt it was stronger in my example to provide two to really show you what I'm talking about. So now I got to really name what those examples show. I said Rose maintains tension in Act 2 by demonstrating the jurors, possibly should be after the S since it's plural, the jurors' impatience and exasperation at how long the discussion is taking. For example, the second juror has a sick child on his mind. Quote, I wonder if they let us go home in case we can't finish tonight. I've got a boy with the mumps. This is likely to add tension because the second juror and others have lives they seem anxious to get back to. The room's uncomfortable heat also adds to the men's impatience. At the beginning of Act 1, the jurors discuss how hot it is in the room. The fifth juror brings it up again at the beginning of Act 2. Quote, boy, it's hot. The uncomfortable conditions are making the men more agitated. This maintains the tension because tempers are likely to flare as the men have multiple reasons to want to be done with the whole thing. Instead, they continue to be trapped in the hot jury room together, right? So, on today's assignment, it's going to look just like the Friday's assignment. You're going to keep looking for examples of tension. When you find it, name which juror is exhibiting it, what's the quote or even maybe the stage direction that you want to focus in on, and what is your analysis or the effect? What's your analysis? What does that evidence show? Today, I think it's going to help you a lot, scholars, if here's your feedback for the day. On your analysis focus, ask yourself this question. How does each example of character-to-character conflict increase the existing tension in the room? So things are already tense. We know they're already tense because of how long this is taking, how hot it is in the room, how strongly characters are disagreeing with each other, right? So we know all of that stuff has already made the room tense. We're going to keep reading, and I want you to focus on character-to-character conflict. When you see a character do something that is likely to make things, an already tense situation, even more tense, all right, by increasing the tension or the conflict, ask yourself, how does this example increase the existing tension in the room? Right? How does it make a tense situation even worse? And today you're going to focus on character-to-character conflict. There were lots of examples on Friday about how the outside things that made things more tense. You know, a juror having his mind on something else, the heat in the room. Today, it's really safe for you to focus on just character-to-character conflict. I'll walk you through the first example so you can see what I'm talking about. We left off right here at the top of page 62. I'll start with third juror. The third juror, remember, he was talking to the fourth juror about how he has a hot temper, and he's passionate about things, and he's trying to explain why he had that outburst to the fourth juror. The first juror doesn't seem like he really wants to have a conversation with this guy. I'll start actually right here at the bottom of page 62. Listen, third juror. Listen, That business before, you know, where that guy was baiting me. I mean, that doesn't prove anything. Listen, I'm a very excitable person, you know? So where does he get off to call me a public adventurer and a sadist and everything? Anybody in his right mind will blow his stack, wouldn't he? He was just trying to bait me. Fourth juror. He did an excellent job. He moves to the towel. Excuse me. He dries his hands. Third juror. Okay, maybe he did. I told you I can't help that kind of thing. I'm a certain type of person. I get moved by this. But let me tell you, I'm sincere. Fourth juror. Fine, we all are. The 10th juror bursts into the washroom, strides to the basin, and washes his hands. Remember, guys, there's like a little bathroom that's kind of off the side of the jury room that we can still see. The 10th juror. Well, isn't this the goddamnest thing you ever saw? 6-6. It's a joke. Third juror. What are we going to do about it? Can't we break it somehow? 10th juror. Those 6 bastards in there aren't going to change their minds. I want to pause there. I think we just saw a clear example of of some conflict between characters that is likely to make the already tense room even worse. When you spot it, you probably already spotted it. Name what you saw and how it's going to make things worse. All right, so who are we focusing on here? I think this is a line. This is a line that's going to definitely shows conflict between characters that is going to make the room even more tense and make things even more awkward. So who's the character? Sure. Their evidence. This is from page 62. Around it. Okay, so what's going on here? And how is this going to make the room even more tense? On page 62, nth juror. Disrespects all those voting not guilty. Cursing by cursing about them. He calls them very disrespectful term. So what? How is this likely to make a tense room even more tense? This is likely to increase tension in the room because name calling never make situation better. It shows temperatures increasing frustration and lack of respect for others. So look for examples of character conflict, and in your analysis think, how is this going to make the room even more tense? How is this going to build tension? Same thing, same question as Friday. What did Rose do? How did he maintain the tension in the room? Okay, remember, zoom out by showing the big idea that it shows, and then use examples. Don't be too specific in your assertion. Like a too specific assertion for my example would be Rose maintains tension at the beginning of Act 2 by having the characters curse at each other, right? That's too specific. What does the cursing show? I got to zoom out and get to the bigger idea of it shows lack of respect, or it shows that their manners are starting to go out the window. Okay, then I can give examples of that. So zoom out for your assertion and ask yourself, how does these examples maintain the tension or the kind of the awkwardness or conflict in the room? All right, I know our numbers are going to jump, guys, from tomorrow. So let's get those turn-in rates way up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or ring that bell to my YouTube channel. All right, get your work done, and I'll see you tomorrow.